The midday sun cast long shadows across Namsan Park as Tina stepped onto the walking path, her phone clutched tight in her hand. Behind a cluster of cherry trees, she could see a figure, waiting. Her heart hammered against her ribs. Every instinct screamed at her to run, but the message had been clear. Come alone, or never know the truth. She took another step forward, leaves crunching beneath her feet, when a voice cut through the silence. Thank you for coming, Tina. Jiwon emerged from behind the trees, but something was wrong. His usual gentle smile was gone, replaced by something cold and calculating. Then another figure stepped out beside him, and Tina's blood turned to ice. Miss Yoon stood there in jeans and a black jacket, her hair loose around her shoulders, her expression twisted with vindictive satisfaction. What are you doing here? Tina breathed. Kai fired you. Yoon's laugh was sharp as broken glass. Fired me? Oh, honey, he set me free. Free to finally finish what I started 2 years ago. Before Tina could process the words, men emerged from the shadows. Too many, surrounding her. She turned to run, but hands grabbed her arms. Yoon stepped forward with a cloth in her hand. Chemical smell overwhelming. Sweet dreams, Yoon whispered, pressing it over Tina's face. Darkness swallowed everything. Across the city, Kai sat in his office at Phoenix Global Trade, reviewing contracts he couldn't focus on. Something felt wrong. Tina hadn't answered his calls all morning. The meeting with Jiwon she'd mentioned. Every nerve in his body screamed danger. His phone rang. Unknown number, he answered. Hello, Kai, Yoon's voice, dripping with venom. Did you really think firing me would make me disappear? Kai stood so fast, his chair crashed backward. Yoon? What have you done? What you forced me to do. 2 years I spent playing your devoted girlfriend, and you threw me away for that African woman and her bastards. Her voice cracked with rage. Now you'll pay. Where is she? Kai's voice was ice over fury. Where are they, you mean? Yoon's laugh made his skin crawl. We have all 3. You have 3 hours to transfer everything, every account, every asset, or Tina dies. And those adorable twins? Well, we'll see how cooperative you are. The line went dead. Kai was moving before conscious thought caught up, barking orders to his security team, racing toward the elevator. Lieutenant Go Sangpil met him at the parking garage with a full tactical team assembling. Tina's apartment, now? Kai commanded, strapping on body armor as the convoy sped through Seoul's streets. They reached her building in 12 minutes. The door to her apartment hung open. Kai burst through, weapon drawn, and saw Precious collapsed on the floor, blood matting her hair. Get medical, Sangpil shouted, dropping beside her. Precious stirred, moaning. Her eyes fluttered open. Kai? Oh God, Kai, I'm so sorry. Where are they? Kai knelt beside her. Precious, where are Senna and Juna? Yoon, Precious's voice broke. She came, said she wanted to apologize to you through the girls, that she wanted to make amends. She seemed so genuine. But then men came. She hit me. They took the girls. I tried to stop them. Kai's world tilted sickeningly. His daughters. The girls who'd held his hand at the museum, who'd looked at him with such trust, in the hands of a woman who hated him. Sir, Sangpil held up his tablet. Background check results on Yoon just came through. It's not good. Kai scanned the information. Each line worse than the last. Seo Yoon, sister of Seo Jiwon, the Seo family. Everything. The relationship, the devotion, the love she'd claimed, all calculated lies. 2 years, Kai whispered. She was surveilling me for 2 years. And Jiwon is her brother. Sir, we have potential locations. Han Young-min arrived with a team. 2 separate sites. Warehouse district in Mulai for what we believe is Tina. Abandoned building near Han. River showing recent thermal activity, possibly the children. Kai's mind raced through impossible calculations. Save Tina or find his daughters first? Split his forces and potentially lose both? Every second wasted was a second they suffered. We split up, he decided. Han, you take a team to the river. I want those girls found. I'm going for Tina. Sir, that's an order, Kai's voice cracked. No ransom. Full tactical authorization. Shoot to kill, if necessary. Before we continue with Kai's desperate race to save his family, if you're already hooked on this story, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button right now and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single moment of what happens next. Now, back to the story. Tina woke to agony. Her head throbbed where she'd been hit. Zip ties cut into her wrists, arms wrenched behind her back, bound to a metal chair. Blood trickled from a cut on her forehead, blurring her vision. The warehouse around her was industrial and abandoned, all rusted metal and broken windows. Welcome back. Yoon stood before her, transformed. The polished executive was gone. This woman's hair hung loose and wild, her eyes burning with something unhinged. Where are my daughters? Tina's voice came out hoarse. Safe. With a babysitter I hired. Yoon circled her like a shark. Don't worry. She thinks she's watching them for a few hours while their mother handles an emergency. The girls are comfortable, fed, watching cartoons. I'm not a monster. You kidnapped them. I borrowed them. There's a difference. Yoon leaned close. Do you know what it's like? 2 years of my life wasted on that man. Smiling when I wanted to scream. Sharing his bed when every touch made my skin crawl. All for this moment. Ji-won emerged from the shadows, and Tina's neighbor, kind, helpful, Do-hyun, was nowhere in that cold face. You were never my neighbor, Tina whispered. Never my friend. No, Ji-won agreed. I was your watcher, your test. And you failed by trusting so easily. Why? What did I ever do to you? Ji-won's expression went cold and distant. You were an accident. A mistake I made 5 years ago that became useful later. 5 years ago, Choi Kai destroyed my family's business empire. My father committed suicide. Our mother died of grief 6 months later. His voice was flat, dead. I spent a year drowning in rage, watching Kai from a distance, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One night, I followed him to a party at the Celestial Tower. I saw him on the rooftop balcony with a woman. Tina's breath caught. You were there? That night, I was watching from a building across the way. I saw you kiss him. I thought you were his girlfriend, someone who mattered to him. Ji-won's smile was cruel. So I decided to hurt him by hurting you. I found out where you worked, Blue Moon, and I burned it down. The fire, Tina whispered, horror washing over her. You burned it to hurt Kai through me? Yes. I wanted to see if he'd react, if he'd search for you. And he did, but not the way I expected. He seemed haunted, but not devastated. That's when I realized you weren't his girlfriend at all. Just a one-night mistake, so I stopped watching you. You didn't matter anymore. Then why now? Tina demanded. Why come back into my life? Yoon took over the story, her voice bitter. Because 3 years ago, I came home from abroad. I'd been living in Europe when our parents died, building my own life, trying to forget. But when I finally returned and learned what Kai had done to our family, I wanted vengeance. My sister and I planned carefully, Ji-won continued. She would infiltrate his organization while I built my own network, the Baeko Gang. It took time, but Yoon is brilliant. She created a perfect, fake identity. It took 6 months to build my background, Yoon said. Perfect resume, perfect references, perfect history, all fabricated. Another 6 months to get hired at Phoenix. Global. I studied Kai, learned what he liked in a woman, and became exactly that person. The relationship with Kai? Yoon's laugh was hollow. Pure calculation. Every smile, every touch, every declaration of love, all scripted. I reported everything to Ji-won, His business dealings, his vulnerabilities, his routines. For 2 years, I was his spy wearing his girlfriend's face. I had let you go, Jiwon said to Tina. You were irrelevant. But then you came back to Seoul and got hired at Phoenix Global, Yoon told me immediately. And that's when I saw the opportunity. I suggested Kai make you his personal project, Yoon added. Pushed him to bring you in for meetings. I wanted him close to you so we could watch. And then I discovered you had children. Twins. 5 years old. Born exactly 9 months after that night at Celestial Tower. That's when the plan changed, Jiwon said. I moved into your building as Do Hyun-an. Got close to you and your daughters. Earned your trust. All. While Yoon worked on Kai from the inside. Discovering the twins? Confronting Kai about them? Yoon's smile was sharp. All staged. We needed him to choose. To reveal how deeply he cared. When he fired me to protect you, we knew we had him exactly where we wanted him. You and those children became his entire world. Destroying you destroys him, Yoon finished. That's the point. He took our family. Now we take his. 5 years, Tina sobbed. You burned down my workplace 5 years ago because you thought I was his girlfriend. But I wasn't. We were strangers who just met that night. And now you're punishing me and my children for something that wasn't even real? No, Jiwon said coldly. We're punishing Kai. You're just the weapon we're using. Across the city, Han Young-min's team breached the abandoned building near Han River with military precision. Flash bangs, smoke, shouted commands. 2 of Jiwon's men went down before they could react. The third surrendered, hands up. In a back room, Han found them. Sena and Juna sitting on a couch with an elderly woman who looked terrified. The moment Han's team burst in, the woman stood with her hands up. Please. I don't know what's happening. A woman paid me to watch these children for a few hours. She said their mother had an emergency. I didn't know I would never. Han assessed quickly. The woman was genuine, scared, not part of the conspiracy. The room was clean, comfortable. The twins had juice boxes and snacks. They looked frightened by the commotion, but physically fine. You're safe now, Han said gently to the girls, holstering his weapon. We're friends of your mommy and Mr. Kai. We're taking you somewhere safe. Juna's lip trembled. Where's mommy? The lady said mommy was coming back soon. Sena, quieter, asked, did something bad happen? Han knelt down to their level. Your mommy is okay, and she's going to see you very soon. But right now, we need to take you somewhere safe. Is that okay? Both. Girls nodded, and Han's heart clenched at their trust, despite their fear. He carried Juna while another officer lifted Sena, rushing them to the waiting vehicles. The elderly babysitter came too, giving a statement to police about the woman who'd hired her, a description matching Yoon perfectly. Once the girls were secured in the vehicle with a female officer comforting them, Han called Kai. Sir, we have them. They're scared and confused, but completely unharmed. They were with a civilian babysitter who had no idea what was happening. The sound Kai made wasn't quite a sob, wasn't quite a roar of relief. Get them to the safe house. Medical team standing by just to check them over. I'm getting their mother. Kai's convoy arrived at warehouse 14 inches Mulai district like a storm. Thermal imaging showed 17 hostiles, 2 in the main room with a single captive. That was Tina. It had to be. Breach on my mark, Kai commanded. No mercy. No survivors except Yoon and Jiwon. I want them alive. 3, 2, 1. Mark. Flashbangs shattered the night. Smoke poured through broken windows. Kai moved through the warehouse like death itself, his team flowing around him in practiced formation. Jiwon's men weren't trained soldiers, they were thugs playing at war. They went down fast and hard. Kai reached the main room and kicked the door off its hinges. Tina sat bound and bloodied, but alive. Relief crashed through him so hard he nearly staggered. Then he saw Jiwon with a gun to her head. Yoon beside him with a knife at her throat. "Hello, darling." Yoon's smile was venomous. "Surprised to see me? Let her go." Kai's voice was deadly calm, weapon trained on Jiwon. "Both of you. Now. This is between us." "No." Yoon pressed the knife harder, drawing blood. "This is exactly where it needs to be. You want to see the real me? Here I am. Not the woman who pretended to love you. The woman who hated every second in your presence. I know who you are now. Seo Yoon, Jiwon's sister. You've been his agent from the beginning." Yoon's smile faltered. "You figured it out. Good. I wanted you to know. Wanted you to understand that every moment we shared was a lie. Every kiss, every touch, every time I said I loved you, all lies. I never loved you either." Kai's words hit like bullets. "I thought I could learn to, but I didn't. So your deception? It means nothing." Yoon's composure cracked, fury contorting her features. "Liar! You would have married me. You said I was perfect. Perfect for what I thought I needed. But Tina showed me what I actually need. What real connection feels like. You were just convenient." The words destroyed something in Yoon's eyes. Her hand shook on the knife. "Enough talk." Jiwon's gun pressed harder against Tina's temple. "Transfer the money, Choi, or I put a bullet in her head." Kai lowered his weapon slowly. "You want me broken? Here I am. Take everything. My empire, my accounts, my life. Just let them go, Tina and my daughters." "We don't want your surrender!" Yoon screamed. "We want you to suffer like we suffered!" She pressed the knife, blood running down Tina's throat. Tina whimpered, and the sound nearly broke Kai's control. "Yoon, please," Tina gasped. "Whatever he did to your family, whatever he did," Yoon's voice cracked. "He destroyed everything. Our parents died because of him. And I wasted 2 years of my life pretending to love a man I despised." "I remember," Kai said quietly. "The CO Corporation. Import fraud, human trafficking, drug money. Your family's empire was built on suffering. I didn't destroy innocent people. I destroyed criminals. Our father ran a legitimate business," Jiwon shouted. "You destroyed him with lies. Your father trafficked women from Southeast Asia, sold drugs to teenagers, used legitimate trade to hide criminal operations." Kai's voice was steel. "I have the files. I have the evidence. Your family's money came from blood and exploitation. Is that what you're avenging? You're lying!" Yoon screamed, but doubt flickered in her eyes. "I burned down that bar 5 years ago because I thought this woman was your girlfriend," Jiwon said, his voice cracking. "I wanted to hurt you, but she was nothing to you then, just a stranger. And now? Now she's everything. Those children are everything. So yes, Kai, this is what I'm avenging. The destruction of everything we had." Tina saw the hesitation in Yoon's face, the way her hand trembled on the knife. In that split second, she made her choice. She threw her weight sideways with everything she had. The chair tipped, disrupting Jiwon's aim and Yoon's knife. Everything exploded into violence. Yoon slashed wildly, caught Kai across the ribs. Blood bloomed through his tactical vest. Jiwon fired the bullet, grazed Kai's shoulder, white-hot pain. But Kai was already moving, fueled by 5 years of longing and weeks of fear. His fist connected with Jiwon's wrist. Bone cracked. The gun fell. Kai's elbow smashed into Jiwon's face, cartilage crunching. Yoon lunged at him with the knife. Kai twisted, caught her arm, used her momentum to slam her into the wall. She crumpled, but scrambled for the fallen knife. Jiwon tackled Kai from behind. They went down hard, trading savage blows. Kai's training took over strike to the throat, knee to the solar plexus, elbow to the temple. Jiwon tried to fight back, but rage made Kai unstoppable. He pinned Jiwon to the concrete, hands around his throat. You burned down Blue Moon because you saw us together one night. One night. You've been punishing her for 5 years for something that wasn't even real then. You terrorized my children. Give me one reason not to kill you." Tina, still bound to the tipped chair, saw Yoon grab her knife, saw her charge toward Kai's unprotected back. Used every ounce of strength to swing her legs, catching Yoon's ankles. Yoon crashed down hard. The knife skittered away. Gunshot. Sang Pill at the doorway. Weapon. Smoking. Yoon screamed, blood blooming from her shoulder. She collapsed, the knife falling from nerveless fingers. Police and paramedics flooded in. Kai released Jiwon, staggered to Tina, cut her free with shaking hands. "You're safe," he breathed, pulling her against him. "The girls are with Han. They're okay." "They were never hurt. It's over." Tina sobbed into his chest, her body shaking with reaction and relief. "This isn't over," Yoon shrieked as police restrained her. "You'll never be safe. I'll come back." "No," Kai said with terrible finality. "You won't. You'll spend the rest of your life in prison thinking about how you wasted 2 years on a man who never loved you. That's your punishment." Yoon's screams turned to broken sobs. "I gave you everything. You gave me lies. There's a difference." Jiwon, being dragged away in handcuffs, looked at Kai one last time. "I saw you with her that night 5 years ago. I thought I was destroying your relationship, but I just pushed her away from you. And now she came back, and you got everything, her, the children, a family, while we lost everything. You lost everything the moment you chose revenge over rebuilding," Kai said quietly. "I didn't destroy your future." "You did," paramedics swarmed Kai. The knife wound was deep, the bullet grazed bleeding freely. They tried to make him lie down. "No," he gripped the paramedic's arm. "I need to see them. I need to see them now." "Sir, you're losing blood." "I don't care." The control finally shattered. "My daughters were taken. His voice broke. "Please, I need to see them." Tina took his hand. "We go together. They need to see we're both okay." The paramedics relented, treating them in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Kai kept his hand locked with Tina's the entire ride, neither willing to let go. If you're on the edge of your seat right now, dying to know what happens when this family finally reunites, smash that like button and hit subscribe. The most emotional part of this story is coming up next, and you absolutely cannot miss it. Now let's see what happens at the hospital. The hospital was chaos. Tina was wheeled to one bay, Kai to another. Both refused to be separated, so the staff relented, placing them side by side with only a curtain between that neither would allow closed. Doctors cleaned Tina's wounds, treated her rope burns, started an IV for dehydration. Next door, they stitched Kai's side, 12 stitches, and dressed his shoulder wound. "You're lucky," the doctor told Kai. "Another inch, and that knife would have punctured your lung." "I don't feel lucky," Kai said, eyes fixed on the door. "Where are my daughters?" Then the door opened. Han entered first, followed by a child psychologist, and behind them, Sena and Juna. They were clean, in fresh pajamas someone had found, clutching new stuffed animals. Their eyes showed confusion and worry, but they were physically fine. They were safe. "Mommy!" Juna's cry split the air. Both girls rushed to Tina's bed. Tina gathered them against her, sobbing so hard she couldn't speak. Just held them, breathing them in, feeling their solid warmth, their beating hearts. "We were confused," Sena whispered against her chest. "The nice lady said you were coming back soon, but then these people came and said we needed to go with them. But Uncle Han was there," Juna added, "so we knew it was okay. But we missed you so much, Mommy. I will always come for you," Tina managed through tears. "Always. Nothing in this world could keep me from you." Sena pulled back, noticed Kai in the next bed. "Mr. Kai, are you hurt bad?" Kai's throat worked, I'm okay, sweet girl. Just a few scratches. Did you help save Mommy? Juna asked. I did. And I'd do it again. 1,000 times. Tina looked at her daughters, then at Kai, and made a decision. The truth had cost them too much already. No more secrets. Girls, come sit with me. She patted the bed. There's something very important I need to tell you. The twins climbed up carefully, sensing the gravity in her voice. Do you remember the stories I told you? Tina's voice shook. About the prince from the faraway kingdom. Sina nodded slowly. Juna's eyes widened. Well, he's not in a faraway kingdom anymore. He's right here. Tina looked at Kai, tears streaming. Mr. Kai, he's the prince. He's your father. Silence fell like snow. The twins looked at Kai, then back at their mother, processing. Our real daddy? Juna's voice was tiny. Yes, baby. Your real daddy. Sina's brow furrowed. Is that why you have his picture on your phone? The one you look at sometimes when you think we're sleeping? Tina's breath caught. You saw that? We see everything, Mommy, Sena said seriously. Juna turned to Kai, studying him with fierce intensity. Are you really our daddy? Kai nodded, tears streaming down his face. Yes, I am. And I'm so sorry I wasn't there before. I didn't know about you, but now that I do, promise I'll never leave you again. Why weren't you there before? Sena asked, always the one who needed to understand. Kai looked at Tina, who nodded permission. Because your mommy and I only knew each other for one night, a long time ago, and then we lost each other. Your mommy didn't know how to find me, and I didn't know you existed. But when I found out about you, I wanted to be in your lives more than anything. Juna tilted her head. Do you love Mommy? Yes. Very much. Do you love us? Kai's voice broke completely. More than I knew it was possible to love anyone. Sena slid off Tina's bed. She walked slowly to Kai's bedside and studied his face with careful attention. You have the same chin as Juna, she observed. Kai laughed through his tears. Your mom said that too. And you got hurt saving Mommy? I did, but it was worth it. You're all worth everything. Sina made her decision. Can I hug you? Or will it hurt? Kai's heart shattered and reformed. You can hug me. I have one good side. Sena carefully climbed onto his bed and wrapped her small arms around him. Kai's good arm came around her, and he buried his face in her hair, breathing her in, overwhelmed. Me too. Juna scrambled over. I want to hug Daddy! The word hit Kai like lightning. Daddy. His daughter had called him Daddy. He held both girls, sobbing openly, all composure destroyed. My daughters! My beautiful daughters. Juna pulled back to look at him seriously. Can we call you Daddy? Or do we have to call you Mister? Kai? You can call me whatever feels right to you. I want to call you Daddy, Juna decided immediately. Sena, more thoughtful, said, Can I call you Appa? That's what my friend calls her daddy. You can call me Appa. Kai could barely speak. I'd be honored. Will you live with us now? Juna asked. Kai looked at Tina. If your mommy says yes. Yes, Tina said, without hesitation. Will you read us bedtime stories? Sena asked. Every night. Will you come to our school events? Every single one. Will you leave again? Sena's voice went small, vulnerable. Kai looked into his daughter's eyes, fierce and certain. Never. I promise you, I will never leave you again. A nurse peeked in, saw the family configuration, smiled softly. I'll give you more time. They stayed like that, Kai in one bed with the twins curled against him, Tina in the next bed, everyone holding hands across the space. A family that had been broken and scattered, now coming together. 6 months later, the world looked different. Kai had stepped back from the shadowy parts of his business, transitioning Phoenix Global Trade into fully legitimate operations. He'd hired consultants, cleaned house, and established partnerships with organizations fighting the crimes his enemies had committed. Tina had started her own consulting business, helping international adoptees navigate Korean systems. She worked from home, building something that honored all the parts of who she was. The twins had processed their trauma with professional help, art therapy, and most importantly, the unwavering love of two parents who showed up every single day. Their drawings evolved from confused, worried images to bright family portraits, always including all four of them. Senna occasionally asked questions about that confusing day. Juna sometimes had dreams about the nice babysitter lady who'd let them watch extra cartoons. But they were healing, surrounded by safety and love. Kai learned the rhythms of fatherhood. Bedtime stories and scraped knees, homework help and school pickups, princess tea parties and superhero games. He was there for every moment, determined to make up for the time they'd lost. And through it all, he and Tina built something neither had expected. A partnership. Equal. Honest. Real. The garden wedding was intimate and perfect. Maybe 50 guests filled the space, close friends. Han and his security team who'd become family. Precious and her new boyfriend. The twins' teachers who'd helped them heal. Flowers bloomed everywhere. String lights crisscrossed overhead, ready for evening. Music played softly. Tina stood in a small room off the garden, adjusting her flowing white dress. Precious fussed with her hair. "You ready for this?" Precious asked. "I've been ready for 6 months," Tina said. "Maybe longer. Maybe since that first night, even though I didn't know it then. He's good to you. Good to the girls. He's everything we needed. Everything I was too scared to hope for." In another room, Han helped Kai with his tie. "Never thought I'd see you in a monkey suit. Getting married," Han teased. "Never thought I'd want to." Kai's hands were shaking slightly. "What if I mess this up? What if I'm not good enough for them?" "You've been good enough every day for 6 months. You'll be good enough every day for the rest of your lives." Han clapped him on the shoulder. "Besides, those girls already decided. Your appa. That's not something you can undo." The ceremony began. Guests took their seats. Precious walked down the aisle first, resplendent in soft pink. Then came Senna and Juna, flower girls in matching yellow dresses covered in sunflowers. They'd practiced their walk for weeks, and now they performed it with utmost seriousness, scattering petals with careful precision. When they reached the front, they sat in the first row, grinning at Kai. The music changed. Everyone stood. Tina appeared at the garden entrance, and Kai's breath stopped. She was radiant, glowing, beautiful beyond words, and she was walking toward him, choosing him, building this life with him. She reached the front, took his hands. The officiant smiled at them both. "We're gathered here today to witness the union of two people who've walked through darkness to find light. Choi Kai and Tina Osei, you've faced trials that would break most people, but you're here, together, ready to make this family official." The ceremony was simple, heartfelt. When it came time for vows, Kai went first. "Tina, I promise to protect our family without controlling it, to be present for every moment, big and small. To love you with everything I am, for all the days of my life." He looked at the twins in the front row. "And I promise to be the father Sina and Juna deserve every single day." Tina's voice was thick with tears. "Kai, I promise to stand with you as your equal partner, to challenge you when you need it and support you always, to build our family on truth and love, not fear and secrets, and to give our daughters the life of love and security they deserve." Before the officiant could continue, Juna's voice rang out. "Can we talk now?" Laughter rippled through the guests. The officiant smiled. "Do you girls have something to say?" Senna and Juna rushed to the front, each holding a piece of paper. Senna read carefully. "We're happy Mommy and Appa are getting married, because now we're a real family." Juna, abandoning her paper, spoke from her heart. "And we love you both very much." The end. More laughter. People wiping tears. Kai lifted both girls into his arms. We love you too. So much. Then, by the power vested in me, the officiant said, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. Kai kissed Tina as the twins cheered. The guests applauded, and Seoul's afternoon sun painted everything gold. They walked back down the aisle together, all four of them. Kai carrying Juna, Tina holding Sena's hand. A family, complete at last. The reception was joyful chaos. The twins taught Kai their made-up dance moves. Han gave a speech about Kai being thoroughly domesticated. Precious cried happy tears through her maid-of-honor toast. As evening fell and lights twinkled overhead, the family of four found a quiet moment on a stone bench. Are you happy, Appa? Sena asked, leaning against him. Happier than I ever thought possible. Are you happy, Mommy? Juna echoed. So happy, baby. So very happy. The twins jumped up, pulling at their hands. Come dance! Everyone's waiting! Kai and Tina stood, following their daughters back into the celebration. The garden was filled with light and love, Seoul's skyline glittering in the distance. String lights twinkled overhead as guests danced and laughed, their joy filling the warm evening air. Kai spun Juna carefully while Sena held Tina's hands, all four of them moving together in the center of the dance floor. It was messy and imperfect and absolutely beautiful. As the song ended, the photographer captured them, embracing a family complete and whole. The evening flowed with cake cutting, laughter, and dancing. The twins got frosting everywhere, their giggles infectious as Kai and Tina cleaned chocolate from little faces and hands. As the celebration continued, Kai found a quiet moment to pull Tina aside to a secluded corner of the garden, away from the noise and lights. I needed a moment alone with my wife, he murmured, his hands settling on her waist. Tina smiled, her heart full. Your wife. I'm still getting used to that. You'd better get used to it quickly. His voice was warm with affection. Because I plan on calling you that for the rest of our lives. She looked up at him, and suddenly her expression shifted. Nervous, excited, uncertain all at once. Kai, there's something I need to tell you. His body tensed slightly. What is it? Are you okay? I'm more than okay. She took his hand and placed it gently on her stomach. I'm pregnant. We're having a baby. Kai's eyes went wide, his breath catching. A baby? We're... Yes, I found out 3 months ago. I wanted to wait until today to tell you. Her voice trembled with emotion. It's a boy, Kai. We're having a son. For a moment, he couldn't speak. His hand remained on her stomach, reverent and amazed. Then he pulled her against him, holding her so tightly she could barely breathe. A son, he whispered, his voice breaking. Tina, you've given me everything. A family, daughters who light up my world, and now a son. He pulled back to look at her, tears streaming down his face. Why didn't you tell me earlier? How did I get this lucky? I wanted to give you a perfect gift today, and we both got lucky, she said softly. After everything we survived, we deserve this happiness. He kissed her then, deep and full of promise, of love, of a future they'd build together. When they finally broke apart, both were crying and laughing at once. Should we tell the girls? Kai asked. Not yet. Let them enjoy being the center of attention a little longer. We'll tell them soon. Hand in hand, they returned to the celebration, their secret held close between them. As the night wore on, the twins began to tire. Kai carried Juna, while Tina carried Sena to the car, both girls barely awake as they said sleepy goodbyes to their guests. At home, they tucked the girls into bed together. Kai told them a story about a woman from a faraway land and a prince who found his family, and by the time he finished, both girls were fast asleep. In the hallway, Tina leaned against Kai, exhausted and content. We did it, she whispered. We did. He kissed the top of her head. And we're just getting started. They walked to their room, hand in hand, ready for whatever came next. The end. Thank you so much for going on this incredible journey with Tina and Kai, from that first fateful night to their beautiful wedding day. If this story touched your heart, if you felt every fear, every tear, and every moment of joy right along with them, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Your support means everything and helps us bring you more amazing stories of love, redemption, and family. Remember, love is worth fighting for. Family is worth everything. And sometimes the darkest shadows lead us to the brightest light. Until next time, keep believing in second chances, in the power of truth, and in love that conquers all.